Konnichiwa, hello from Japan. Japan is the last stop on my missions journey, and being here, I have been able to work with 3 separate missionary groups in 2 different parts of Japan, in places you probably have never heard of, which are Kanazawa and Hamamatsu, Japan. Being able to come alongside this family in Kanazawa, experience the heaviest snowfall we've both ever seen, me growing up as a Californian and this family being from Hawaii and experiencing their first snowfall. This was a once in a decade kind of snow that they experienced in their new home. Getting to support them and be with their kids who didn't know much Japanese, and there are not any English speakers in the area, and so being able to be there and just be a friend to these missionary kids and teaching them how to edit through fun activities like editing them into their favorite Disney movies and getting to help their eldest, Noelle, with editing their 6-month recap video. The work that they are doing there is essential, and their kids are as much missionaries as the parents, and to see that through the friends they are making in the school system, they are able to bring their friends and their friends' parents to their house. They have had 160 guests since moving to Japan 6 months ago. That is incredible. And in Japan, it is not normal for people to go into other people's houses. And so this invitation is very meaningful and rare, and an even greater opportunity to just share the love of Jesus by opening their doors. And in Japan, there is not so much closed offness to Jesus or the gospel. People are very polite here. It's just they don't have an understanding. They don't have an exposure to the gospel. And so there's so much need for mission work here in Japan. And I cannot wait to see how the Lord uses the Miuras here in Kanazawa. And then I took the Shinkansen, which is the bullet train from Kanazawa to Hamamatsu, where I joined up with these 2 separate missionary couples who are actually operating under a business as mission with Zoe Cafe, an English school that was started by Ron and Julie King 16 years ago. And then a pastor from Yakima Foursquare Church's daughter, actually, that's how I got connected with these missionaries at Zoe Cafe. She and her husband moved up here 2 years ago. And to see how English is a pathway to leading people to Christ. Thankfully here there is no religious persecution following the events of World War II. And so these teachers, missionaries, are able to plant little seeds here and there, slowly build relationships and build curiosity that allow the students to then ask, do you believe in God? But English is the question language. And in this English school, lots of students are able to express themselves, which is something that they don't feel they're able to do in Japanese because the culture is very collectivist. And so to speak your mind is not something that you do here. You typically follow the opinion or the thoughts of the elder in a room or situation or household. You kind of just follow and submit to that. That is the culture here in Japan. But through the ministry of this English school, God is slowly chipping at the hearts. And I am so blessed to have been able to meet these workers and spend time with them, break bread with them, and see all that God is doing. And I just believe that revival is on its way in this country. I experienced so much in this past month and a half, and it has been a great year. And I cannot believe that God would choose someone like me who had always been afraid of being alone, gets anxiety traveling, gets motion sickness, who was someone very fearful, that he used me in a capacity that involved like being alone, living alone, having to take trains and buses and go through airports and all this and that, things that me as my human fleshliness get anxiety or fear of, how like that is no longer there, and that is all through the goodness and grace of God. And so thank you all for following me on this journey. I am so thankful for your guys' continued prayers, for your support, both financially, your support in whether it be the things I post in the encouragement or my support system of friends that when there have been hard times that they have always been there to respond with wisdom and encouragement. But I think I'm even more motivated to know that there is more work to be done. And right where we're at in the United States, I think something people will ask me when I get back is, so are you gonna continue this mission work? Yes, but not in the way you expected. The peace I have received in this next mission field that I am called to enter is in workplace missions in the United States. But I just want to encourage you, if you made it this far in the video, God has called you to be a shepherd to those around you in the spaces in the nation He has put you in.